Okay, here's the video response for all you Brazilian jiu-jitsus and wrestlers out there that got offended and got all riled up because I guess because y'all take it that I'm trying to question the validity of Brazilian jiu-jitsu or wrestling, which I'm not. But you have to know the limitations of your art, in which a lot of you refuse to see that, of course. So I'll break it down a little bit more for you. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling is equivalent to the run game in football, especially at the higher levels of NFL. Okay, you look at the evolution of the NFL. Look at the Green Bay Packers that won this year compared to the Green Bay Packers that won the first Super Bowl ever. Of course, running 60-70% of the time was Vince Lombardi and the first Green Bay Packers. Why? Because running was effective. It was less room for error. It's easier to be effective. Okay, and it's easier to defend, and that's why over the years the evolution of the sport has gone to the pass, because you've had to switch it up. Which passing takes more skill. It's more room for error. That's just basic physics. Okay. You take the Green Bay Packers of this year, they maybe throw 70-60% of the time, because the evolution of the game has went up. The skill level of the players have went up. So therefore they're able to do more things, and these things become the things that win ball games. Let's go basketball. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wrestling is like layups or dunks, which is effective and needed to win every game, but we know where the majority of the game is won with shooting, and shooting takes more skill. Same thing, basic physics. Okay, let's take Anderson Silva, the most dominating fighter in UFC over the past 6-7 years. When you look back, do you think about, oh, Anderson Silva is so good and he's been so dominant in his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and his wrestling? No, you think about how superior a striker he was, and that was the difference in his fights. And the one fight that he got hurt, he hurt his rib, or had the broken rib that inhibited his striking. He became just an even fighter, just like Chael Sonnen. And Chael Sonnen might have even had a more advantage. And we know that's not the case. What gives Anderson Silva that higher advantage is his striking ability. Okay? Now, like I said, that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling is needed. He used his defense, and he used his knowledge of that to keep him in that fight and to ultimately win it. But we know his superior skill is with his boxing and his striking. That's what you think about. Let's take BJ Penn, the prodigy, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu prodigy. When he was just the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wrestling guy, he was a good fighter but never could get over the hump, couldn't beat the Matt Hugheses and stuff like that. Oh, he started working with boxing, mainly with boxing, because he'll never lose those skills with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, even though he kept working at those things, but he mainly worked boxing. What happened? He became one of the most dominant. And you think about his victories over the 5-6 last year. You think about, oh, his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has just been so dominant. No, you don't think about that. You think about his striking, because that's what has won him these victories over the Matt Hugheses in the top echelon. Okay? And you've seen his takedown defense has been superb. Yeah, he's learned to defend that, like I said, so he can stay on his feet and he can dominate you with his superior hand skill. Okay? And what happened? He lost to who? Frank Yeager, who had what? More skill level on his feet. Had more quickness, footwork, you know what I'm saying, speed, and that's what got him. He was setting him up with the striking, then he could take him down. But it's all set up from striking. You look at John Jones. Did he overwhelm Shogun because of his wrestling ability? And John Jones is a wrestler. No, he overwhelmed him by his dynamic striking. And then after dynamic striking, he was able to take him down and finish him. Cain Velasquez. Did he overwhelm Brock Lesnar by his wrestling? You know what I'm saying? No. He overwhelmed him by his striking, and then he was able to take him down. Brock Lesnar, perfect example. Someone who don't have no skill striking. Once you're able to stop, you know, that, you know what I'm saying, that wrestling, his limited skill, he was a fish out of water. He was a fish out of water. Someone's able to stand up to his brute, you know, him being bigger than everybody, and stop the wrestling because, hey, I'm just as strong as you can be. I'm just as good as a wrestler, so I'm going to keep you from wrestling, because if we start to wrestle, it's anybody's game. But no, Cain Velasquez, all I need to do that and to get out here, and then I'll warm his ass up. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. Put it to you this way. Jake Shields even if he wins on Saturday, will never hold the belt for a long time and never will have consistent wins against top level performers. Okay, being a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wrestling guy with just those skills, it's not going to happen. The people who have the skill in striking will dominate and be champions. Period. Period, point blank. You will never have a dominating champion that will just be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or wrestling buff, unless it's another like Brock Lesnar where they're just bigger than everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll meet their match, and their match will be met by someone else who has more skill, who's able to stand up and defend themselves from the takedown and warm them up with more skill. That's period, point blank. Like I said, and I will prove this with my predictions this year. Like I said, the way I'll be able to predict who's able to win, because I know who has more skill, and by just the manner of victory, how they will win these fights. These top fighters of Anderson Silva, Jose Aldo, George St. Pierre, everything will be done and won by striking, and then they may finish somebody off or defend somebody with their Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling, but they're not just going to win fights and be dominating people with just wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That is over. Period. Like I said, so come back with your response, and please give some intelligent responses. If you don't have anything intelligent to say, you can say whatever you may. But it's just silly. Oh, you're retarded. Oh, you're stupid. Oh, I mean, that'll mean nothing. And if you try to say what I'm saying is not intelligent, then it should be easy for you to up me and to be able to shut me up. Okay? So take the challenge. I'm ready. Like I said, because I know what I'm talking about. So let me know.